Hello, everybody. This is Stan Fitzgerald with Veterans for America First and our new arm, the Vet Voice, covering all media topics. I'm here with a friend of mine, Dr. Gary Kiss, who is definitely America First doctor. We've run into Gary from Mar-a-Lago to Bedminster to South Carolina, and he's out there supporting the president and the great candidates that the president has endorsed. Gary has something to offer for the veteran and first responder community in the way of healing, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Yeah, so hi Stan. It's great to see you again, and I'm very excited about our meeting. And it was instantly once we met in Charleston, it was instant. The connection was instant because we realized we have quite a few of the same passions,
Yeah.
and that passion is helping people, particularly helping our vets. And so, with that being said, I want to jump right into this and just cut to the chase because this for me is so exciting, Stan, that I have my team and I can't take all the credit. We really have cracked the code on breaking through with something called photonic energy. And we're all familiar with photon energy in one way or the other, but I'll just break it down very quickly. Um, Photon energy, for example, is absorbed by the plants and the trees, and that photonic energy creates photosynthesis. Okay, it triggers all of the biochemical processes in the plants. Okay, in the same way, Stan, it triggers all of the biochemical processes in our bodies. And traditionally speaking, we always heard the root of all diseases, it's inflammation. Yes, this is true, but there's a root underneath that root, and that root is lack of photonic energy into our cells. And this is what happens. For example, um, why does Alaska have some of the highest suicide rates in the world? Because there's lack of light. There's not enough light to trigger all of the biochemical processes in our mitochondria to create energy. But most importantly, there's not enough light to trigger our neurochemical processes, okay, that creates our hormones, that creates our feel good, our serotonins, our dopamines. And when we have an imbalance in those areas, it has a cascade of effects that really sends our bodies into a different state of disease. So when you really think about it, the true root of all disease in the body always starts off, the roots are always energetical. And that energetic root is light. And I want to get a little bit deeper, Stan, because this is not something that they teach us in the textbooks. This has come through a lot of research and a lot of brilliant scientists that have really been studying this. So, for example, our DNA. Let's talk about our DNA. The DNA is like the hot topic right now, right? But you may ask, well, how is DNA, right? How does it pertain to anxiety or even PTSD? I want to get into that, but I really want to help people to build the layers and connect those links to show you how it's all related. And what happens, the light comes into the body and the light gets absorbed by the DNA. The more light being absorbed into the DNA vibrates. So the more light you have coming in, the faster the vibration of the DNA. Now, once the light gets into the subatomic level of the DNA, okay, it tells the body, it gives the body all of, it's like a computer. So it tells the software of the body, okay, trigger this, because the information travels in light packets, just like a computer. Our bodies are designed like a supercomputer. It's very intelligent. When we're sleeping, our autonomic nervous system is still working in the background, right? And we're not even aware of this. So These chemical processes are triggered by light. Furthermore, when you come up another layer, light is absorbed into the mitochondria. The mitochondria is responsible for energy production. Mitochondria produces something called ATP. And that ATP is kind of like our batteries. It's our energy storage. If there's not enough light going into the mitochondria, you have low energy. And this is why when people are depressed or they're in a lower state and not feeling very happy, what do you want to do when you feel depressed? Don't you want to just shut the curtains and be by yourself? So there are chemical reactions that dictates our behaviors. It doesn't just happen randomly. And oftentimes we may think that these things happen out of the blue, but there's so many underlying chemical processes that has to happen before it actually starts to manifest in our physical bodies and in our brains. So I really want to help people. I want to help educate people, Stan, because we need to understand why is this happening? Why are we suffering now more than ever from things like anxiety? It doesn't matter if you're younger, if you're older. Anxiety seems to be, the common denominator of our civilization, right? And but if you think about it, the root of anxiety, it's a it's based in fear. There's some type of underlying fear that is stuck in our subconscious that's triggering that anxiety. Because what happens every time the anxiety gets triggered, it's because there's an external situation that creates a bridge to the subconscious to trigger that anxiety. And 90% of the time, we're not we're not even aware of what's triggering it. Sometimes we are, sometimes it may be a scent, sometimes it may be a sound, it may be a situation. We don't know. There's so many things that can trigger that. But underneath that fear, there's something even underneath that fear. And that's what we want to work on. Underneath that fear, when something happens, let's say, for example, in terms of, let's speak specifically about our vets. These guys have been through the ringer and back, and they have accumulated so many traumatic experiences. And this is how it works. When we accumulate these experiences, it's in our head. We think about it when we go to bed. We keep thinking about it. And then when we don't process it, it goes into the subconscious. Furthermore, when we keep piling more and more traumatic experiences on top of it, our bodies have to make room to store these memories and these emotions. It has to go somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. So the more we pile on, the deeper and deeper these experiences, it gets stored kind of like a hard drive. So from the subconscious, it gets stored. And guess what? It goes into our DNA stand for storage. So the more and the longer we take to, if we don't actively process these traumatic events, it gets buried very deep into our body, and it actually creates toxicity. Okay, and it actually creates dark thoughts inside of you. So this is how our body works naturally because it's a protective mechanism. And the longer we take to process it, the harder it gets. And sometimes talk therapy alone is just not enough. Okay, talk therapy works when you're dealing with traumatic events from the subconscious level because you can connect to it consciously and bring it out and process it. But when you have those deeply rooted events, you have to go a little bit deeper to the root in order to release those traumatic experiences. And this is what my team and I have been working on very, very effectively. And I would also like to say we're all about finding the best solution naturally without harming another part of your body. Okay, we're not fixing your brain, but messing up your liver here. And this for me, I'm very passionate about this to the point where I've done thousands of treatments for people all across the country and the world. When I realized what we were onto, my excitement just really propelled me to do that, and I'm very passionate. And it's time we give back to our vets, Stan. It's time, and it's time we give back to them where we are not helping them in one way, but harming them in the other way. This is important. It's also time we give back to them with something that's accessible and extremely affordable. Okay, what about the families of the vets? Who thinks about the families of the vets that are traumatized because of the vets? Because they have to take care of them, they have to deal with them on a daily basis. Someone has to care for them. So there's a whole cascade of effects around the people that truly love and care for you. Okay, and too many times America's vets have been neglected, and I'm very happy that you and I can team up on this project to offer a true solution. So, with that being said, Stan, when we stream photonic energy, and I'm going to back up for a moment, what we've cracked the code on is photonic energy. We have found out we've really cracked the code on how to harness that energy from the atmosphere, because if you think about it, the purest and most powerful form of energy we have on this planet is our sun. Without our sun, we won't be here, right? Even solar panels collect photonic energy and converts it into pure electricity. Our bodies are no different. Um, so that being said, we've figured out naturally how to harness this photonic energy from the atmosphere and stream it. And the reason when I say stream it, I mean stream it. For example, in the same way you would stream a movie or you would stream music, it's all, if you think about it, it's information going through the airways that's coming directly to you. Okay. And it's being picked up by a receiver who is then transmitting it for your pleasure. We have figured out how to stream energy, and the reason why it works even better than in person, it's because it's a direct link between the energy and you. Photonic energy is absorbed. Our eyes by design has been designed to absorb photon energy. So these invisible light particles goes into the eyes through your eye rods, and it goes directly into the brain. And it's, I kid you not, Stan, if I put the photon device, the photon technology up to the camera, your entire nervous system will just calm right down. It's like you are feeling, if you're out here all day because you've just been working and just running around, it's like you're reconnecting to your body. And this is what happens with people who have PTSD. They are disconnected from their physical senses. So they're always out there, and it's hard for them to be in their body.
Yes, PTSD is a serious problem across the country, and both our veterans and first responders community. And we are always looking for alternative ways of therapy. And just a disclaimer here for the Vet Voice and Veterans for America First, we are not offering medical advice. We are not
Correct.
uh, trying to steer you to medicine. We are simply offering this information from the good doctor. If you'd like to check out his website, he's going to tell you how to get there and visit his information.
Absolutely. That's correct. You know, we are just simply offering an alternative way and a very effective way, with that being said. And this, it's truly cutting edge. It's really cutting edge because we are able, let's go back to what I said before, Stan, in terms of when an event happens, it's information. The information of that event is stored in your body. We are able to go into the information layers of the body and kind of help your body to process it and transform it and release it. This is the true root of healing PTSD or any form of anxiety for that matter. And because PTSD taps into your nervous system, it attacks your nervous system. Then, if your nervous system is out of balance, then your immune system is also weakened. So there's a cascade of events that just happens just based on anxiety, and we really want to combat this issue. And the beautiful part of this, Stan, is we can do this with thousands of people at one time, being in, for example, in a Zoom room, just by looking and us streaming the photonic light energy through the Zoom. It sounds kind of Star Trek and far-fetched, but we do it all the time with technology, so why can't we do it with energy?
And there's definitely something to that. I mean, coming from New Jersey and going through the long winters, when you're stuck inside a few days, you get depressed. And even back then, I'm going back 30 years, they used to sell sunshine lights that would give off natural sunshine, and you'd feel better. So I'm sure the technology's come a long way, and the good
Right.
doctor here has perfected it, and it's definitely something, if you're interested, please do visit his website. And Dr. Kiss, how do people find you?
Yeah, you can visit us at photonhealingroom.com. That's photon, PHOTON, healingroom.com. Stan, I would like to offer something very special for your crowd. I think I think I would love to offer a free online session for as many people as we can fit in this Zoom. Because here's the beauty of this. You will, not me, you will receive results from the very first session. There are no ifs,
And,
ands, or buts here.
and to your credit on that, you're very successful in what you do. It speaks volumes that you're able to tour around the country and support the president and all these candidates. So it's obviously evidence of your success, and that success equates to helping people. So we appreciate what you're doing, and
Thank
we look
you.
forward to chatting with you again soon, my friend.
I'm looking forward, Stan. Let's help our vets. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Doctor.